mobile ethnography, it also de-risks the decisions. So whether teams are evaluating concepts, they're refining those experiences, or they're prioritizing investments with the business and other teams, seeing real life use helps surface issues early before they scale. When teams can see the real behavior in context, the impact shows up quickly in how decisions get made. In practice, mobile ethnography helps, of course, usability, reducing that friction, the anxiety across those journeys by revealing where the experiences are breaking down and not just that they do. That leads to fewer assumptions and more targeted fixes. But it also reveals behaviors that need to be explored in the context of their lives, as we've mentioned a few times. In the notifications example I mentioned, our goals were to increase activation on this box on the right. So our OKRs, the objective was to increase activation. The key result was to increase the weekly active users. And when we started to see that opportunity for notifications, we realized that if we dug in, we might find some opportunities, and we definitely did. So one of those I mentioned a minute ago was that, we got to see how many customers had turned those notifications off, even though we were blind to that from the technology. And as well, who was not even seeing the notifications, which folks were acting from the notifications. Again, we could see people landing inside from the app into the pages, but this was helping us see why they did that. And then lastly, just did they even find value in the data and the content it led them to? So we knew we had that big opportunity, and mobile ethnography was absolutely the ideal method to continuously learn on that, and we still are. And on the next bullet here, the mobile ethnography, it also de-risks the decisions. So whether teams are evaluating concepts, they're refining those experiences, or they're prioritizing investments with the business and other teams, seeing real life use helps surface issues early before they scale. Speed is another major outcome, as Paul had mentioned with AI, but the context is being captured up front and the insights starts to form during the field work. Teams move from question to action much faster. And finally, it does improve alignment. When the product, the research, the marketing, and the leadership are all reacting to the same real world evidence, the debates shift from opinion to problem solving. So the result isn't just better insight, it's better decisions, and they're made with more confidence and ultimately that business impact that we all seek.
One of the reasons mobile ethnography travels so well across industries is because it is grounded in real life and not like a specific category. So in CPG and retail, it's often used to understand how products actually live in the home. So how people shop, store, use, and improvise around them. In media and entertainment, insights teams use mobile ethnography to see how content fits into daily routines. So, like what grabs people's attention, what competes for time, and how fandom looks at home versus live events. In financial services, it helps uncover money behaviors that people don't always articulate. So, their workarounds, trust signals, and the emotional context around decisions. And then in hospitality and travel, it's especially powerful for end-to-end journeys where emotion and stress and environment help shape their perception, and especially along each of those touch points. Like if you think about air travel, for example, the journey of searching for tickets, going through security at the airport, in-flight experience, baggage collection, many of those moments are traditionally pretty hard to reach, but come into focus through mobile ethnography. This isn't an exhaustive list, of course. Mobile ethnography can really be helpful and valuable anywhere where customers are making decisions and having experiences that you want to better understand.
There's one thing to take away from this. It's that the distance between behavior and insights matter. When we rely on that memory alone, we miss context. And when we miss context, even good data can lead to incomplete decisions. So studying real life as it happens brings clarity. It builds empathy, it can align teams, and it helps organizations design experiences that actually fit into people's lives. So mobile ethnography isn't just about replacing the methods that you already trust. It's about completing the picture with the context of what's often missing.